beautiful winter day in Georgia. It's the beginning of February, so it's perfect weather to go out and enjoy these backcountry roads. This part of the country is probably the best kept secret because of its mild winters and winding roads in a hilly countryside, surrounded by forests, nature, and farms. And far in between, you will bump into small towns that may surprise you. One of them that we'll explore today is Harlem. No, this is not in New York. We are still in Georgia. The town was named by a visitor from New York City in 1870 who thought the town resembled Harlem, the elite artistic neighborhood in Upper Manhattan. It's located about 23 miles southeast of Augusta, and it was established by two men, a medical doctor and an engineer who wanted a liquor-free town. Until 1940, none of these streets were paved. This is a town with about 3,000 residents, and there's an interesting small museum that it's worth visiting if you happen to pass through this part of the country. Did you know that Harlem is the birthplace of one of the most popular silent film actors, Oliver Hardy? Many of us grew up watching Laurel and Hardy, short comedy films that were created from the 1920s until 1950s and were very popular at the time, and even today. It's a gorgeous day, and I had a feeling this would be a good trip full of surprises. And sure enough, I wasn't disappointed.
I'm Zina. I'm one of the museum assistants here at the Harlem Museum and Welcome Center, home of the Laurel and Hardy Museum in Harlem, Georgia. We've had a Laurel and Hardy Museum in Harlem since 2002, and we've been at this location since 2019.
Okay. And Oliver Hardy was born around here, right, nearby?
Yes, he was born right behind that Masonic building. It used to be a small one-story home that is no longer standing, but we do have a little monument in place there to remember. We switch our exhibits around every few months just to keep it interesting.
Yes.
And we do have some items that belong to Laurel or Hardy. I don't have any on exhibit right now. We have some of their correspondence, like Christmas cards, and Stan actually was pen friends with a lot of people, fans that wrote him, and he just kept writing back and forward about everything that was going on in their lives.
Okay.
And we do have that. We don't have it out right now because we try to give those items a break so they can go back.
So you put them back in the storage somewhere?
We put them back in storage, and then every now and then we bring them out. I had them out for our Christmas exhibit because we had their personal Christmas cards out that they sent. Okay. But those are the items that we still accept because everything else, all the commercially produced items, we have so much of that we can't accept anything else at this point.
Do you know if he ever came back to this area later in his life after he became famous?
Well, not after he became famous, but he used to spend the summers here because he still had family in Grovetown and Harlem, so his mom would send him to be with his cousins for the summer, but we didn't see much of him after he became famous.
His family still here? I mean, extended family.
Yeah, his extended family is still here. He never had any children. But we did have a mayor who was, I believe, a cousin of his.
Okay.
And yes, his family is still here. In Germany, we call them dick und doof, which translates to the fat one and the stupid one, which is horrible, but I mean, it was a different time.
Yeah, and they were good friends, I read.
They were good friends. Actually, Stan, after Oliver passed away, Stan refused to be in any other movies or to go on public appearances because he lost his best friend.
Yeah,
those
he
were
was
his
heartbroken.
words.
Yes.
Orville Hardy was born in 1892. His family moved from Harlem to Madison. As a teenager, he added Oliver to his name in honor of his dad, who passed away when he was only 1 year old. All his childhood was marked by a tragedy. His older brother Sam drowned in the Oconee River. Hardy pulled him from the river but was unable to revive him. In 1910, his family was living in Milledgeville, and he became obsessed with a newly opened motion picture theater, the Palace. He did everything: janitor, selling tickets, and finally a manager. He wanted to become an actor and moved to Jacksonville to get closer to filming locations, then to New York, and finally to Hollywood in 1917. Stan Laurel was born Arthur Stanley Jefferson in 1890 in England. It's interesting that he and another British comedian that you probably heard of, Charlie Chaplin, worked in the same traveling theater in England, and both arrived in America on the same ship in 1910. Stan started acting in silent short films in 1921 with Oliver Hardy, but they didn't become a team until 1927. Since then, they worked together until Oliver's death in 1957. After his death, Stan retired and never acted again. I love traveling and seeing places, but the best part is meeting interesting people when you visit these small towns. One of them I had the privilege to meet is a man behind the camera who brings you videos of trains from all over Georgia. Check out his YouTube channel, The Georgia Road.
Hi everyone, my name is Rose Bennett. I actually own the Bubbles or Not dive shop here in Harlem, Georgia. This is actually the birthplace of the Oliver Hardy. Every first Saturday of the year, which is in October, we celebrate his birthday by having a festival. The small city of Harlem actually closes to celebrate his birthday. I believe last year there's about maybe 30K people from different cities in the area will actually come here just for that particular event.
I need to come back at that time to,
You should.
to see it.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Yes.
Even though Harlem is a very small town, it's a home of a biggest exotic bird sanctuary in the United States. It's a home to over 1,000 parrots, cockatoos, macaws, African greys, lovebirds, and others. Did you know that? These small towns just keep surprising us.
Duke. He's a sulfur-crested cockatoo. He is about 65 years old.
65?
Yeah, the birds can live up to usually about 100 years old for some of them. We expect he could live for another 20, 30 years, no problem.
Oh my gosh.
He's been here 15 years or so. His owner used to travel a lot, so we bored him. And it got to the point where he was here more than with the owner, so the owner just said, you know what, he likes it here, so we have him here. All the birds you see outside are outside year-round because they've been acclimated to the weather.
Okay.
And birds in the wild are outside all the time anyways.
Okay.
So we really haven't had any problems with losing birds due to cold weather because it doesn't get that cold generally.
Yeah.
And we do have infrared heaters in their flights as well. The cockatoos are native to Australia.
Australia?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So his owner actually was from Australia as well, so that's where he came from originally. But like I said, he's been here for a while now.
Okay. Can it say anything or not? Not really.
He will occasionally ask if you're thirsty. Pretty bird, hello, that kind of stuff. When he was a younger bird, he was bad and would dump his water. And so his previous owners would take his water out because he was in a wooden cage and didn't want the cage to rot.
Okay.
Well, every time they walked by, they would ask, are you thirsty? So occasionally he'll return the favor.
Hello.
You gonna say hello, Duke?
Come on, you can do it. Hello. Oh, well, a little shy today.
This is Hannah. Hannah's a blue and gold macaw. We think is...
He said thirsty.
Yeah. There he goes.
You're thirsty? You're thirsty?
Yes, I am thirsty actually. Yes. Yes.
You're thirsty?
This is great.
This is Hannah. She's another blue and gold macaw. She's up here partially because she has she's blind in one eye. This eye that you can see here is her good eye, but she had a congenital condition, so from birth she's been blind in the other eye. We think she's probably late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
And she could, again, live to be 70, 80 years old.
Oh my gosh, just like humans, huh?
Yep. Oh yeah. One of the biggest reasons why we get birds surrendered here to the refuge is because of people who are getting older or their owner will pass away. It goes to a family member who may love the bird, but maybe not love the bird that much.
Yes.
Because they can be very loud and they can be
Yes.
very messy.
Yes.
And there's some birds that you may think they're beautiful, but he'll also want to take your face off.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They're that aggressive.
Oh yeah, they can be. They can be. And you figure, well, I can show you here on Duke's cage. Duke is a good bird. However, he does like to pull things apart. So he's taking his cage apart here in spots.
Wow. And I guess that's the reason why you keep them apart, so they don't kill each other, maybe.
Sometimes some birds are more aggressive than others.
Okay.
However, within interspecies, they live that way in the wild. So generally, interspecies-wise, they are fairly good with each other.
Okay. All right.
I'll walk you over here to our main macaw flight,
Okay.
and that way you can see what they are like all together.
Okay.
The refuge has been here for the last 16 or so years.
Okay.
It's all volunteers, except for the owner. But it's all volunteers, and we come out on the weekends and participate. So this is our macaw flight. It's the biggest one we have. I think we have 15 birds in here right now.
Okay.
This is all macaws. And you can see this is a heavier gauge wire,
Yes.
so the birds can't
Ooh,
try to chew through.
They have strong beaks.
Oh yes, oh yes. And you can see they're all around here. They'll come by to say hi as we stand here a little longer.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Most of these birds will be more likely to squawk at you than to speak to you.
Okay.
We try to keep them. These were probably more aggressive toward people,
Okay.
and so they ended up coming out here.
Okay.
Here they can fly a little bit across the room. They can interact with each other.
Okay.
And it's a pretty decent life form. Again, are kind of aggressive, and we don't want them to,
Hurt people.
hurt people anymore than we have to. Some of the birds will speak more than others. Others will just squawk. Yeah. They get loud. So
Okay, we hear you. You're beautiful, yes. And friendly, yes. You are friendly. Are you thirsty? Hungry? I'm really glad that I came here and saw all these birds. Beautiful birds. As I was chasing the sun through this beautiful country, it felt more like flying than riding. I thought about everything and everyone I met today, and I realized that everyone was smiling. In a museum, on the streets, and all the volunteers in the bird rescue center. It's contagious because I was smiling on my way home. My dear friend, do you ever feel a little down after watching the news? No wonder pharmaceutical companies realized the best time was to advertise their pills.
Rexulti can cause serious side effects. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Antidepressants may increase suicide.
But there's a better way to deal with modern ailments. Nothing will help you regain hope in humanity like meeting with volunteers at Feather Friends Forever, or meeting local people who really care about their small community and welcome you to their small town with a smile. Keep traveling, my friend, and make sure to visit Harlem, the happiest small town in Georgia.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through and